Welcome back to News Sources. Now changing gears, there is a development that should get you worried if you want a peaceful general election. The opposition has written to the outgoing disgruntled IBC commissioners not to audit the current voter register. The current one is yet to be audited, and we are only 10 months to the next general elections. Hayamba, that's where you should start from. Do we have time to have in place a new voter register?
It is expected that we need to have a clean, a register that is clean. But there's one thing that Gatundu South Member of Parliament, Moses Kuria, is on record having said, that himself has been a project manager. And for any project manager to be given actually a project to undertake in less than 10 months, even him, he would run away. And I think it's a case of, it's a case of biting more than we can chew. The time is very short. The other commissioners that were supposed to leave early, but when we still had push and pull, they've actually decided to leave when it's late in the day. So we need to have a clean one, because already there was a debate whether we had a register in place or not in 2013. And remember that even I think my colleagues will attest to that, we don't have official results of the elections of 2013. And we are going into another election. So as it stands, you cannot go and say these are the official results that we had, because they were contested. And even the outgoing chair refused to go under oath and say that these are the results.
Man was fasting, that's what he said.
Yes, so there's a problem with that. And that needs to be in place. But I don't know what we'll do, because we're supposed to clean the register that we have.
Oruko, these commissioners are not leaving yet until there are new commissioners in place. Opposition has got wind that they want to clean up this register. Just to quicken this process of having in place a free and fair election. What is your feeling about this?
I think I was also shocked. Part of the agreement was that they resign, but they stick around. I just can't understand. I just don't understand that. And that's when the smoking, when you could sense that there was a problem. But be it as it may, I'm already shocked. I remember the last voter registration. It was through biometrics, right? But I don't understand how a machine or a system would accept double biometrics. For where I work, for example, I access the office through this finger, and once I go one way, I must return. If I logged in and I don't go in, I will not log in. Meaning the system has refused. It's telling me that you're already inside there. So how did it come that people are double registering, for example? How did this system accept two faces, two fingers of the same person? I mean, how? These are part of the big lies from these disgruntled people who are going home. And I was saying, this is supposed to go to jail. You cannot have an election after 5 years.
These fellas are being sent home. I mean, Ramazan, these fellas are being sent home with 92 million shillings, no prosecution. They've been told, stick around, run in fuel guzzlers, you have bodyguards to yourselves until we have new commissioners in place.
It's too immoral.
We have no idea how long this will take.
Very immoral. Very immoral. Today, my employer accuses me of stealing or mismanaging office property. Then the following day, I seek immunity. Whereas I'm defending myself, I didn't do anything. I seek immunity. And he gives me a golden handshake. That's too immoral. But on the register, we have like 3 samples of registers. And if we have a contested register, that's a clear way of having a disputed election. And 2017 will be more than what we witnessed in 2007. So the better thing is we can work on this register and clear it. Not with these guys, because they are the same people who've been accused of tampering with the register. I don't know why we are so lenient on them, because these are the accused. They should be aware. They should be even ashamed to show up in the office.
But
and
I think
there is a secretariat which should be performing its duties.
It would have been possible if you would have said they exit, then they're out of office. But remember that we are so close to 2017, and there is a lot that needs to be done. The secretariat needs to be guided. If it were in 2015, when this debate of the IBC reform would have begun, you would have said it would have made a lot of sense that they exit. But Rajab, we really have a very short period.
Which is the better evil? To still have people who have credibility issues hanging on their neck,
But you
running
see-
our register. Is that the better evil?
But
we
you
want?
see, the same chairman had said that he would rather go to
Those
jail
guys
than
can-
resign.
those-
But you see, we need to, one way or the other, we need
can't
to have
trust
an
those
election.
fellas with the register.
But we need
They
to
want
have an
register.
election in
Mine
place.
is-
Rather
No,
postpone than go
We
to
need-
a disputed election.
This country is ours. These elections are ours. We can still push them to 2020.
Yes,
It's
and
our
have a
election.
peaceful
We don't need to deal with the
fair and
criminals.
credible elections.
But
We can't
unfortunately,
have a circle of disputed elections
going
every
to
year.
elections on the second Tuesday of after every 5 years is enshrined in the constitution.
Which we can change.
But now that one again will be subject to a referendum
So?
because that is a. But now
They have gotten away with the 90,
Gentlemen, we must
with the
change
90
gears
million.
now.
No, the
From
fellas-
our leader,
the fellas
Salim
deserve to be
David is
in
blowing.
jail. Don't clearing our
is-
register. Eh? Those fellas, man.
but it's unfortunate.
It
Ah,
can be
okay,
unfortunate. The man should
okay,
be-
gentlemen, it's story for another day. One leader, Musalia Mudavadi, is turning out into something. If the man is not blasting Jubilee government over failed promises it has promised Kenyans, Musalia is taking head on its leadership. Musalia has termed William Ruto's tour of Western Province as a waste of time. Musalia says people just want to see William Ruto because, just like a picture, presidents wants to see him. There is nothing more to it. This man has been making inroads into Western Province now for so many years, and is on record, I think, in 2013 telling the media, please stop saying we are trying to make inroads into Western Province. Stop saying I was in Western Province. Sometimes he goes there without notifying the media. We just get to know about it from the local leadership. Do you think William Ruto has made an impact in Western Province?
You know, Western, as I said, has always been a swing vote for a longer period. It's now they are trying to come, they came up with, they coined that phrase of Mulembe consciousness, which I don't know whether it's still in place or it fizzled out. But Western has been a hunting ground, and it has been a swing vote for a longer period. You cannot write off the inroads made by Deputy President William Ruto. Remember that he's angling himself for 2022. He knows, he has already said 2017 is decided. That is President Uhuru Kenyatta's contest. So he could be making some inroads because you're never sure about Western. You're never sure about Western. So it could be true that actually he's making some inroad because Western, you're not sure that actually it's a block. So yes, it's true that he could be making some inroads.
Oruko, if what befell former ODM Secretary General is anything to go by, what befell Otuoma, I think was Vice Chairman of ODM, is anything to go by, what has Musalia Mudavadi talking now is anything to go by? Do you think William has made an inroads in Western Province?
I think this word inroads is also not a very good word. It's a slogan we need to abandon. It's used by people who do not know what they're talking about, first of all. Ruto has a major problem to himself, and a problem that, as people say, he's the author of his own problems. First of all, let me take you to an event that happened about 2-3 weeks ago in one of these France Atwoli's-led Luya conscious or whatever single candidate things. And one of the resolutions I remember reading was that we shall unite and we shall look for somebody to work with, except William Samoei Ruto. It was very clear. So that tells you something. Ruto has a problem with almost everybody. That's first of all. Number two, Ruto has a habit of insulting the Luya community. And you can track this. You can track it. There's a time he went, I remember it was 2020, 13 or 14 thereabout. Yes. Told the Luyas, msipojipanga tutawapa.
Tutawapanga.
Yeah. Mnapenda kulialia tu. As if any Luya has ever cried in looking for a job, right? Maybe Eugene. Number two, he talked about ati mmegongwa msumari kwa ODM, you know. All these things has been saying. So if you want to win over people, I don't think that the insult or insulting them or forcing them to support you should be the right way to go. So this idea of inroads is newspaper cuttings or newspaper articles that are authored by journalists like you.
Yes.
Wrong things.
Ramadan, I mean, you must clear your name on this one. You're a journalist.
Journalists,
No.
inroads.
Personally, I think the inroad thing is a fallacy because look at the audience he gets. He's always in churches where there's organized audience. If he's making inroads, I want him to go to Buhungu and Hula and taste.
But
Bungo and whole rally. And this is.
And by the way, he has said a very funny thing
You
that
know,
I've never heard. That
you look
at
at it,
Luya
you know-
is a swing vote.
vote.
Hakuna kitu kama swing vote.
That's another
It has
thing.
never
No,
been-
no, no, no,
and
no swing
evidence-
vote.
Evidence
No, no,
can
no,
bear
no.
us out.
Evidence
Maybe
can
from
bear-
my community, maybe from the Kisi community, there will be a swing vote.
Yeah,
no,
there's
no.
never been a swing
In less
vote.
That's
than
a
10
narrative. That's
in less
what
than
they say.
10 seconds.
Western
Haima,
region
yes.
has always divided their votes, and the issue about the inroads, in as much as you'll say that is a very bad term, remember that deputy president is a good mobilizer, and don't forget,
You mobilize people while you're
By
insulting.
insulting.
By
but don't
abusing them.
forget that he's a crowd
Where is he?
puller.
Where?
having-
A crowd puller
In
in a
Rift
church.
Valley,
but
yes.
look at
Eh?
the way he
In a
he-
church.
Look at
You
the
know,
way he
people
runs.
go to churches to do campaigns. You can't say
Well,
you're a crowd puller in a church.
you just admire
Go to a rally.
You just
In
admire.
Nyayo
You just
Stadium and do
admire
it.
him.
A crowd puller
Gentlemen,
in a church.
I mean,
it can't
we
be.
must have this discussion again, as I said again. But moving on, hundreds of Kenyans are being executed by members of Kenya security agencies. Sons and husbands were said to have last been seen by security agencies have disappeared without a trace. All of this has been denied by government as recently as this week. Listen to Kenya's